as the person who got the lowest votes, uh, also known as the Big L. So I'm going to be changing my name from Neji to the Big L. I'm going to be honest. My feelings were hurt. Uh, I'm just kidding. I did start recording. Thank you for reminding me. I have done a awful job at remembering to record my sessions this week. I'm usually very good at that. I do not know where my head's been at. I appreciate the 37 people that voted for me. Um, I actually would have voted for D-Man, just based on the style of the way he trades. Um, I think actually, Nate, I don't know if you jumped off to go do something else. 38 people. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, Steven. That makes me feel good. Is if it had to be a cash account without margin, then I think that should have been the handicap for D-Man. Not a margin account because he's such a hyper trader. The Nate's combo versus D-Man. That sounds fair. I like that one. I am. So when we were originally talking about this, it's kind of um, it's it's kind of the tortoise and the hare, right? And I think D-Man is the hare. Nate sits in the middle, and I sit on the tortoise side. And I mean, if you had to kind of sort of rank us in kind of the way we trade and the speed at which we can build an account like that, they all have advantages, right? It's kind of aggressive, mid-tier, conservative, and so anyway, I guess the small advantage I have is I've done two of these now, and it's just you got to grind it. You just got to grind it, minimize your losses, and try and take advantage of some of those wins. I'm gonna try my absolute hardest not to change my trading style just to compete, but I also really like to compete, so I might. So the hard part about this, I think, for all three of us, will be um, weighing the competition aspect between the three of us versus the teaching in the room how to properly manage a small account, right? Yeah, right, D-Man, you might need to. It's Monday at noon and you're having to refund. That's pretty funny. Yeah, see, my edge works as 60% of the time. It works every time. So, but anyway, I think for those of you who are kind of on the fence about joining and not sure because you maybe have a small account or you're kind of new to trading and you think maybe this might be we might be taking these massive trades and moving super fast and it's just going to be confusing. This is a great step for you to be able to see something that is tangible to your own account size and your own risk tolerance, and be able to see not only how it's done, but kind of try and follow along as best you can. But you can check to see the trades that were made that day, the wins, the losses, and there will be losses, right? That's part of it. And they'll be right there on that sheet. Whether we've had a green day or a red day, you can see those trades and just see how that slow grind. I mean, for instance, for those of you who don't quite know what we're talking about in terms of what that looks like, this is one I've been doing, and it's just day after day after day of wins and losses and wins and losses, and using 10 to anywhere from 5 to 15% of your account in each trade. Right? This was obviously a very bad day, but you stack good days along with stack more good days than bad days, and you're in business. So no, our trades will not come through on Nate's trade alerts because this is DPL. That stays a DPL thing. Nate's the one who is alerting his trades, but we will be putting them here in chat. And if we're on mic, right? If we're on mic, we'll talk about them. If we're not, we'll be putting them in chat. Yep. Just like D-Man just put there on chat. Yeah, Vivian, that's a great. It sounds like you copied this this trade log, which is great. You can use it for yourself, and then putting a field in or at the end to for notes about why you took the trade or why something didn't work or did I make a mistake or whatever. I think that's a great way to learn because you can go back over days that didn't turn out well and you can kind of see what you did. I also recommend putting a mindset, like what was my mindset for the day? So for instance, today, I haven't put in my trades for today yet. I've only made a small handful and two of them were a loss. I slept terribly last night. I couldn't sleep for whatever reason. That's usually not an issue for me, but I slept terribly last night. So coming into today, and that's always the worst as a West Coaster because you still have to get up super early. Oh, you too, Nate? Yeah, I don't know what it was. I couldn't shut my brain off. I had to get up. I just at one point at like 2 a.m. I just got up and I came out to the living room and whatnot. Yes, you can get a copy of this. You can't make any changes to it. So if you want to use the structure, you can copy it and just make a new one. But I lock it down so people don't change it. Let's see. I'll just label small account. This won't be. We'll have a different system for this Three Amigos challenge. But this is the one I'm doing right now. Small account spreadsheet. And you're welcome to look at it there if you want. But going back to my point is I knew that my head was not going to be in the right space today, just based on the night's sleep that I had, and I came in taking smaller risk and really just not trying to put on a bunch of trades right at the open. So I've traded very light today, but rightfully so. Well, for two reasons. It's also Friday, and as Nate says, you don't want to lose your butt on a Friday. I also cannot tell you how many times I've had a banner week and come in on a Friday trying to like make that banner week bigger and giving it all back. Right? And that's a lesson you just got to learn over and over and over and over again. Yeah, Adam, I don't have Tylenol PM or melatonin here at the house because I usually don't have trouble sleeping. Yeah, D-Man probably slept like a boss. That's right. Comfortable and relaxed. So what I am in at the moment is I've been shorting the SPX. I'm still in it. I'm just letting this thing kind of bleed out. We came down into this absolute gamma level and we bounced, and I caught a little piece of that. And then it just didn't want to go. It just didn't want to go. It formed this little flag, and then it broke through there, and then broke through this absolute gamma level. So I'm still shorting this. I'll take this off. I don't know that it's going to get all the way down to 0 gamma. I'll probably take it off into this mess of people here if it gets that far. I've got a protective stop in, so I'll be looking to take that off here pretty soon if it looks like it's finding some support at that level, right? If you like an SPX type of bounce play, this could be a nice spot. So I am going to flip this out right here. I don't know what my percentage will be. Maybe 50%, something along those lines. Anyway, okay, so I'm out of that. And I don't know if you see that. We might push lower, but a short from here on this break to here, that's pretty good for my sniper style. And this is really more of a continuation sniper than anything else, right? We do get kind of a signal right here, but this is more of a pattern break into weakness on the chart. Everything feels weak today. After a spike up, I mean, look at SpaceX. It's bouncing now, but man, it's taken a long time, and it just sold off for so long today. Right out of the open. What is SPX called? SPX is just the cash index for the S&P 500. All my trades, Larry, the question is, do you keep track of the date you close the trade? All my trades are closed before the end of the day. They're all intraday trades, at least when I'm doing sniper trading. Yeah, or $ SPX if you're on Schwab. SPXW for some brokers. Trying to catch up. Me too. Retired West Coast. Yeah, not used to getting up at 5 a.m. Your body gets used to it, but when you start, it is hard. You just have to go to bed early. Give it all back, Alpha. That's your style. I can't tell you. I mean, over the many years of learning to trade, that was exactly my biggest problem. I'd get oversized risk. I'd get confident. I always tell the story. I'd start having a bunch of big days, back to back, 3, 4, and your emotions start taking hold, so you start feeling good, and you start feeling like you've got this thing on lock. And I always found that every time I would calculate, like actually sit down and think, or even write on paper, if I could do this every day, it would be $300,000 a year, so I could quit my other sources of income and just do this. That, and as soon as I would have that conversation with myself and be like, okay, I'm just going to do this every day, just like this, I would have a massive losing day every time. Even if I didn't have that conversation for 7 or 8 days, and then as soon as I had that sort of mental conversation with myself, I would have a massive losing day. And so I just had to learn, just don't ever have that conversation with yourself. Just have that conversation in hindsight. This is an interesting potential reversal pattern here. On the 2-minute, I bet Might be getting a little doji candle. Let's see if we're into an area. We are kind of into this high traffic area from yesterday. So if you like a bounce potential, just manage your risk here, right? Yeah, I was trying to keep an eye on Jack today to see if it would give us a bounce. This is actually an interesting level, Nate. Sort of this, before that massive spike up, this was sort of that value area low playing out of this pattern, right? So I could see we're setting up on a 10-minute sniper right now. Still got a minute and 27 for that to close, but I do like this level for a bounce on Jack. Yeah, the market's always there to humble you, for sure. Did TWLO bounce? Ooh, looks good. Kind of in no man's land, though. No, I guess it's this opening print price area from the gap up. Yeah, another 10-minute sniper setting up there. So let's see what SPX. Interesting. 3-minute sniper maybe? No, 2-minute? 2 minutes coming in. So there we're getting a nice little bounce. Did anybody take that? I did not. I was busy, as I like to say, flapping my gums. Gunnar, you want my screen setup? Do you want this one that you see right here? Or do you want just sort of one of these, more basic ones? I'll pull my screen, my shared screen setup here, and I can share it with you. Just so you know, the gamma exposure levels and the sniper at the bottom won't show up unless you have a subscription to that. There's a copy of my charts. How do you set up the tickers at the top of the screen up here? These are just tabs. So like let me pull over a different version, right? So they're just tabs like browser tabs. So if I want another one, I just hit this little plus symbol right here. Whoop. Right? Hit the plus, and then you can pick your style of chart, right? That you have saved, and then it's up there as a new tab, right? And then you can, so if you want them all up there, you can say, okay, I want this one to be Amazon. And then if you already have a chart that you like up and you just want to change the name, you can right click the tab and you can say duplicate tab. It'll create another one with all the same settings on that tab. And then you can say, okay, I want this one to be Apple. It kind of depends on your subscription level, of course, because some levels limit the amount of Apple into VWAP here. Or I guess it's already kind of rolled from VWAP, but it depends on your subscription level. think I'm going to give SPX a little try here. Stop at the swing low. 0 DTE options. I'm actually going a little out of the money on this. And we'll just see what happens. We might, look, if this is going to be a drift down day, right, what you want to watch for is kind of what happened here, potentially happening here, right? Chop, chop, chop. We form a little thing, and then boom, we go to break that level. That is a possibility. Yeah, Sharky, I'm recording. I think I missed Tuesday and Thursday's recording. I'm on twice today, so I'm recording both. So I'll have Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we'll have 2. So I apologize for doing a poor job on recording my sessions. So it put as we're kind of waiting for things to, it's a hard trader today. Things are just sort of, oh yeah, Twilio's getting a nice bounce. Well, starting a nice bounce. It's not getting that bounce just yet. A trade that I do kind of like at the moment is this GM chart on kind of a 178, 130. I don't have my squeeze on here. So anybody else that has their squeeze up can tell me. I'm betting we're in a squeeze on the 130. But I just like it because we've just kind of broken this. Is that an all-time high level or no? Yeah. Yeah, we've broken this all-time high level, and we've come back and retested it here, and we're basically right at it. So for me, I put on, I'm just testing it out. So I put on kind of a starter, and if we break down below that level, I'm out. That's fine. Good risk reward. Looking for, on a standard TPS style of trade, right? I'm looking for a move up into sort of, let's say up into 95. Let's do a move on the up to the 1618 level, right? And so if that's my risk reward, I am looking pretty good. Let's say I let it drift just a little bit, and that's my target. My risk reward is, almost 1 to 9. 8.58 risk reward ratio. That's a hard set of words to say in order. Risk reward ratio. A lot of R's. A lot of R's and W's. All right, that SPX is starting to move. Probably going to watch that closely. It kind of needs to pop up a little bit more. Our previous downtrend was here. So, if you'd like your 25%, you probably should have taken that off already. We'll see what it wants to do here. But on GM, sorry. This is we're taking this on a 130-minute chart. So you can go all the way, I would go all the way out to, 3-4 weeks from now at the money. Right, so if we want to look at what option, this will be a slower mover, right? This is kind of a conservative trade. So let's say I think I got a little bit more aggressive. Sometimes I jump from snipers to a longer term swing TPS trade, and I don't go out far enough because I'm used to buying, same day expiration, and I'll only go out 7 days. In this one, if you felt like being conservative and letting this thing work, you could go all the way out to the September 4th, so 21 days, right? The conservative play here is September 4, 87s or 88s, one of the two, or sorry, 87s or 86s. 87 calls at, what are we, probably get filled for 185, let's say. And then the rest of the trade plan is stop under, let's say 186 on a 130-minute chart. Can anyone tell me what I mean when I say stop under 136 on a 130-minute chart? That's kind of specific wording. Does anybody know what I mean there? So, yep, Polaris got it. So if I'm taking this trade on a 130-minute chart, I don't want to watch it on a 10 and have a 10-minute candle break that level and then immediately wick back up, right, on a larger time frame. And then I stopped out because I was watching too short of a time frame, right? So I want if I'm going to stop out, 130-minute candle close has to close, below that 186 level. As you can see, this would have wicked through, but it came back up. This wicked through, but it came back up. This is a 130-minute chart. So that's what I mean. Stop under 186 on a 130-minute chart. And then, target one. Let's put a target one here at all-time high. Target one at, let's say, 92. Scale out, whatever, half. Can't spell. And then we'll go target 2 at, what did I say? 95. There you go. There's a nice, conservative, slow-moving GM trade. Oh, wait a second. 87. Sorry, 87. You're right. I was looking at the wrong strike. So let me change that price. I apologize. Yep, September 4th. 87s. I was looking at the one below it. So this is at 2. We probably get a fill at, I don't know, 227, let's say. Would be the mid there. I apologize. Thank you for the under 86. Man, making all kinds of mistakes. See what happens when you're tired and you don't get a good night's sleep? Thank you for keeping me dialed. I'm used to playing stocks that are higher in price, so I just naturally go to that 195. Welcome, AMG Trades. Okay, anybody have any other questions on that? And listen, if it breaks down, it breaks down. Like, you just gotta, it's okay. Not all trades work. Just cut your losses. Especially if you're taking this and you're deciding not to become a DPL member. Next week you've got to manage this on your own. Sleep is not overrated. I know that's a fun phrase, but the older I get, so you see we're back here testing that level. So what did I say? Where'd it go? Right? We could set up the same sort of situation that we had there. Now, this could do one of two things. This could bounce here, right? Kind of give us a W, or, right, this could roll over further and find new lows. Based on how it's been trading today and looking at everything else, Qs, we'll see. Anybody have any other good TPS charts we might be able to? Yeah, you got to sleep faster, man. Come on, we're wasting time over here. Let's see. DXCM, what's that? Ooh, it's a strong chart. PNFP. Is this one Nate's in? Just looking for like a nice 30-minute. Does anybody have a nice 30-minute squeeze for a guy who's kind of tired and just wants to be handed a good trade to put on for everyone? Is that a no? This is an interesting flag and a larger term pattern here on J&J. Yeah, Twilio's good. It's not really a 30-minute. Well, yeah, I like them high and tight. BMO. I like them near all-time highs. Let's see. What is that? Oh, data's delayed on BMO? Weird. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Oh, I don't have... Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's a nice 30-minuter. Let's see if we can get a decent bounce here out of the SPX. Double bottom there. Let me get this line back in here. Because it really needs to convincingly... Do you think I have enough lines on my chart? Should I get more? Is it hard for newbies to look at, if you're kind of new to trading or new in this room, are all these lines on the chart just overly confusing? Put a 2 in chat if it's just overly confusing to look at my screen. Okay, well, all right, there's some. So the nice thing about these are, like, if you're trying to copy APD, I'll check that one out in a second. If you're trying to copy it, the nice thing is you can, up here, you can turn these things off. Like, oh gosh, it's just too noisy. I want to see a cleaner chart. Okay, there you go. There's a cleaner chart. And then you're like, okay, well, I would like to see view app. All right, I mean, I do kind of think the GEX levels are important. And then you can kind of pick and choose, right? But I get it. Learning to see through the lines and see the price action is important. I mean, you can also, there's another feature. Let me learn you a little something. There's also, you could just hit this eyeball down here, right, on the right-hand side. And if you're trying to see a clean chart, oh, it just takes away your lines. Never mind. I thought it would also take away your indicators. Just hides your drawings. Somebody said, John, you're answering a question. I was like, John, you know I don't put my trades in the trades tab, but you're answering somebody else's question. Somebody, let's watch Twilio. Yep, that's a nice bounce out of there. That line is opening print price from the gap. Yeah, Twilio's nice. SPX is just going to chop around down here for a while, I bet. What are Q's doing? Same. IWM, same. So the one thing that I'll probably do in the afternoon session is put on a pin trade, put on a butterfly pin trade. My butterfly pin trade yesterday, I had the 7,800 strike. Whoops. And I put it on. Let me get rid of a bunch of these lines because it is bananas. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Remove. Let's just get rid of drawings. Bam. Okay. So yesterday, the closing pin that I had was 7,800, and that's because the absolute gamma level, which is this blue line today at 77.90, which might shift into the afternoon. I don't know. Maybe with this drop it will a little bit. But 7,800 was the absolute gamma level for both updates. So it's the absolute gamma level for the entire day. And when we came in down here into some of these lows, we were starting to work our way up. So somewhere in here, I put on a butterfly trade for 7,800, and it started working its way up towards that level. I think we came in here, and I had to step out for a while as we were coming up into that level. And so I just decided, I put it on for, what did I put it on for? Like $1.30, I think. $1.30 to make almost 850 if we pinned exactly. And then, within an hour's time, we moved up close enough to make that a double, so a full 100%. So I flipped it out, right, for 100%, and then I kind of had to leave for a while, and then came back for the close and watched this thing just go. It didn't close right at 7,800, but I think that would have been probably in the neighborhood of 130 risk. And I probably would have made, I don't know, right around 700. It wouldn't have been the full. And Fridays typically are a good day, especially if absolute gamma kind of stays the same, to take another shot at a pin trade. So I will do that. Steve, did you let it pin all the way to expiration? The 7,800 butterfly yesterday? Coach, did you let it pin all the way? Dude, that's awesome. What did you do the 10 wide? What was the total per contract? You don't have to tell me your P&L. What was the per contract close? What did you get per contract? 413 per contract. Okay. Yes, you can, Dave. The Sniper Pro has that for Thinkorswim as well. Yes. Well done, Manny. Now, when we put this on later today, the pin trade, for anyone who wants to follow along, please understand that when we put on a pin trade, and the idea is we're going to let it go to expiration because SPX is a cash settled instrument, so you don't have to close it out. You don't risk assignment. You can close it out along the way, like if it's kind of hovering around that level, because sometimes we have, it's hovering around that level. You're almost at max profit, and then there's a sell on close orders in the billions, and right in the last 2 minutes, it drops 10 points and takes you completely out of any profitability. But then sometimes you're out of profitability and you get a buy on close order, boom, right back up into your level. So just understand that when you put it on, your mindset needs to be the risk I'm putting into this trade. This is a lotto style trade. So today's a good lotto day. So I am only going to risk as much as I'm willing to lose, right? Because if it moves out of profitability for you and never even comes back close, then it's a max loss trade, right? It's very hard to get in and out of those butterflies. So don't put on a massive amount of that you can do whatever you want, but my recommendation is to not put on a massive amount of risk, because you can usually get, if you're far enough away from that level, you can usually get, $100 in risk if you do 10 wide on either side for, almost 900 in max profit if it pins exactly. But they're a 35 to 40% win rate type of trade, right? So you want to be comfortable losing whatever that is. That's per contract, right? So if you do 2, you're risking 100, you're risking 200 if you're that kind of thing. I mean, you can all do the math on that. Trying to see if SPX is going to bounce out of this level. So if you see me put a butterfly trade in chat, that's what I'm doing. There's 2 ways to do it. You can buy a butterfly, whether it's a call butterfly or a put butterfly. Another way I will do it sometimes is as an iron butterfly, which is basically a credit spread and a put credit spread and a call credit spread with the sold strikes at the middle. And it's the same risk. When you do that, you're selling them, so it's a credit to your account. And when you buy a butterfly, it's a debit to your account. Yeah, you can also do the XSP if you don't want to risk quite as much on the SPX. It's 1 in 10. If price is below where I'm trying to go, I'll buy a call butterfly, and if I'm above it and I'm looking for a push down, I'll do a put butterfly. If you're using Thinkorswim, it's just SPX. If you're using the Schwab web interface, it's $. SPX, I haven't used that in a long time. So, Coach, are you putting on a iron condor when you do that? Or you're just putting on a let's say a put credit spread and then buying the upper butterfly wings. Yes, both JHD. Yes, that's you. It's the same idea. You're selling the pin strike, whether that's a standard call or put butterfly or an iron butterfly. You're always selling that center strike. Okay, I got 2 minutes left. Is it lunch after me? I'm sorry, I don't have the schedule up in front of me. Or is somebody on? Yes, it's lunch. Okay. Um, so if I run like 2 or 3 minutes over, it's not a major deal. Oh, okay. There's a VIP session, so I do need to get off. Gotcha. Okay, so we didn't do a lot of trading in this session just because there's just not a lot to do. Things are kind of chopping around. This is typical for a Friday. Um, that's why we don't want to put too much at risk on a Friday, especially if you've had an awesome week. Even if you've had a terrible week, it's still good not to come in on a Friday kind of cautious, because you can also make a terrible week even worse. So, uh, that happens sometimes. But I'm excited for the small account challenge. I'm excited to try and prove the majority of this room wrong that voted for me last. But the three of us, you'll hear us all in the Three Amigos session later. We like to give each other a lot of grief. The more grief, the better. And I'm sure with this small account challenge, there will be a lot of grief thrown about. Um, Shots will be fired. So I look forward to doing that, and I hope you guys can join us. I do think, like Nate said, it will absolutely be a great learning experience. Even if one of us blows up our account, right, which I doubt will happen, but even if that happens, there is a vast amount of learning in decision making watching that kind of a thing. So there's not many other places you can go and see live accounts being traded against each other, and trying to build a small account. So I got to get 2,000 transferred into an account so I can be ready to go for Monday. So I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys join us. And VIPs, there's the VIP session at lunch. I will see you all a little bit later this afternoon for another session. Talk to you later.